Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is gonna be a little bit more like chill, laid back. I'm gonna be showing you guys what is on my iPhone and walking you guys through what I did with the new iOS 14 update and how I made my background and my home screen look nice and cute. My phone was a hot mess before this, and I was that girl that had like a million notifications still on her phone. I had like red little dots everywhere with a bunch of text messages and voicemails because I don't listen to voicemails anymore. And I had like a million different apps on my home screen that I hardly ever use. So I think that what I came up with is a whole lot better. I'm also going to be showing you guys like what apps I actually keep on here and use as a mom of two. Things that I get asked about a ton, like Jackson's like little feeding tracker and like the little sleep tracker that I use, and just what I use as a YouTuber and all of that. So if you guys are interested, then keep on watching, and if you do enjoy this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, subscribe if you're new. And now I'm gonna do a little screen share and show you guys what my phone looks like. Okay, so this is what my home screen looks like. I'm just gonna slide over so you can see what those two pages look like. Before, I used to have like a bunch of different like pages with apps and apps and apps. But now what's nice with the new iOS 14 update is that when you slide one more time to the left or to the right, you get to what's called the app library. And your app library is where you can send all of your other apps that you don't use like on a regular basis. So like I would say these apps here are the ones that I use the most often. And then if you do see an app that you're like, you know what, I don't use this as much, you can just click on it, like hold down, and then you hit remove app, and then you can hit move to app library. So I'm not gonna do that because I wanna keep this one here. So that was a super helpful process. I spent quite some time just moving stuff into the app library. And what's nice about that update is that it kind of automatically saves stuff to your app library into different categories. So I have a category now that says shopping and food. So this is something that I'll still use regularly and you can still use because it's still on your phone. It's not like you're deleting the app entirely. So if I click on shopping and food, then it'll open up all of those apps and I can still use them as normal. The ones that I use most often here are things like Instacart, my Walmart for Walmart pickup, because I'm always doing that because ain't nobody got time to go to the grocery store with little kids. So I use that a ton. And then I do use the Target app because I order things from Target. We've got DoorDash. That's where we order food from, Postmates, Uber Eats, all of that. So I can still use these apps, but they don't have to be like in my face all the time. And that's something that I really appreciate because now when I look at my home screen, like it doesn't give me anxiety. I really like how I've laid it out. So if you've been following this update, then you guys know that a lot of people have been changing the actual icons of these apps into like cute little pictures. And it's something that I may look into down the road. But right now I wanted to keep it simple and not spend so much time doing that. So I left the icons as is because I figured it's just easier for me to find what I'm looking for if it's just the regular icons that I'm used to. But what I did take some time to do is I added a couple widgets. So these things up here, like this giant calendar in pink with the white border, that's considered a widget. This little thing down here that says just breathe, that's also considered a widget. And then I've got two more widgets on the second page that I added. So I used two different apps. I'm going to show you guys those real quick. First and foremost, so you guys even know how to add the widgets, you hold down anywhere on your home screen, and then this plus button on the top left, that's where you'll find a whole bunch of different widgets. You can add these onto your like home screen, and you can decide, do I want to like, you know, put the weather there? Do I want to put my calendar, my map? So it is a really fun feature. You can put your reminders, you can put music that you normally listen to, and there's a whole bunch of different things that you can use as far as widgets. So you can play around with that and then see what you like, you know, like what you want your home screen to look like. But the ones that I used weren't like the Apple ones. These are from Widgetsmith, which I'm sure you guys have heard about by now. So I'm just gonna open up the Widgetsmith app so you guys can see what that looks like. It's this app right here. And here's where you can create different widgets. So you have the options of creating small widgets, medium widgets, large widgets. I've only used small and medium ones. So the first one was the calendar one, and I love how that one turned out. So basically when I click on this, you can see what I did. So you have a bunch of different options on how you want things displayed, different formatting, settings, and all of that. You can also change the font. You can use a different font. I used New York. Tint color is the color of the font, so you can play around with the color of the font, and then also the background color. You can make things just a regular black, or some of these more fun colors. But I wanted to keep with like the pink that I like to look at all day long. And that's kind of like what this whole entire update is about. And like the whole thing about making your phone look aesthetically pleasing is the fact that if you're gonna be looking at your phone all day long like I do, like I spend like the entire day with my phone in my hands, it's nice that when I open it up, looks pretty. You can put photos of you and your family like right on the home screen. You know, you can customize it to what you use the most and to like what you enjoy seeing the most. So anyway, that's the calendar app. For the app on the second page that I have, that is a Bible quote. That one I created myself. I went to medium widget and then I chose custom text. When you choose custom text, you can write out whatever it is that you want it to say, and then you can have that displayed on your widget. The same thing with that Just Breathe icon that I have on the front page. That one was just a small widget that I added some custom text onto, and then I typed in Just Breathe. I chose the font, I chose the color, just being like a black color with the white background, so you can kind of play around with what you want to see. And then to add them, what you do is the same thing that I told you before. You just click on the home screen and then you add the plus, and then you're gonna go all the way down to where it says Widget Smith. You'll click on that, and then depending on whether it's a small widget or a medium widget or a large widget, you choose which one it is that you're trying to add to that home screen. So let's say we wanted to add that small one that says Just Breathe. I would hit small, and I would hit add widget. And then if that's not the one that came up, I could click on it again and I could select whether I wanted the first one or the one that says breathe. So you can play around with all the different widgets that you have. Like if you have more than one widget, then a whole bunch will pop up here. I'm gonna delete that because I don't need it here. And now look, it's messed up all of my little widgets. I'm gonna hold it down and just move it back to where I had it. So then the second app that I used was one called Motivation, and that one looks like this. It's like little quotes, and here you can kind of decide which quotes you want like in this customized mix that they make for you. So throughout the day the quotes will change. So I just wanted like a little bit of motivation. I think I just chose the general one. And then to add that onto your phone, you do the same thing that I told you before. You'll click on add, and then you'll go down to the Motivation app, and then you'll hit add widget. You can make it this way, like a medium-sized widget, a large one, or a small one. I just kept it small. And then you'll hit add widget, and then it'll show up here on your home screen, and then you can decide where you want to place it. You can move it around and all of that. So I'm just gonna delete that, move this back to where it was. And then the other thing that I did do also is I made a couple little like folders for some apps. So here on the second page, I have one that's for utilities, which is just stuff that I still didn't want in my app library, but I also didn't want like right in my face all the time. So like my settings and my calculator and things like that, I kept there. And then I have a little folder for my business stuff, so things like reward style. Whenever you guys ask for links for things, that's an easy way for me to go and get the links for you guys. And then the same thing with Amazon Associates. Whenever I share stuff from Amazon, I get it from that app. And then I've got my YouTube studio, so I can be looking at my analytics, and I've got Like to Know It. I use the Etsy app because I do sell presets from my Etsy store, so that's the app that lets you see like, you know, your insights and like how many sales you're getting and all of that. So those I do want to keep on my phone. And then I have another little folder here with some stuff that I use for like photo and video editing. So I've got this Tone app, which is actually very cool. I just discovered this one, and this one is great. Like this is a video of Jackson, and just so you can see, you can put like a little filter on it. It has like different filters to choose from. I guess you have to, you know, pay money to get all of them, but I think you get a few for free. So that's a cool little app that I've been experimenting with like for TikTok videos, and now that I'm gonna do more like short little videos and stuff, that's a good app to have. And then I have Lightroom that I use to edit my photos. So all of my Instagram photos are edited through Lightroom. So like these photos from Joe's birthday the other day, these I edited really quick using one of the presets that I have. So I'll go down to where it says presets, and then I'll choose the, I think it's called Spring is Here. So that's one of the ones that I sell on my pack. Where is it? So Spring is Here. And then there's the photo. It looks a lot brighter than it did before. You see, that's the before, and then that's the after. And if I want to play with the brightness, I can bring down the exposure and all of that, and then I'll save it to my phone and then send it to Instagram. So I'm using that all day long. I edit a whole bunch of photos, and then I have another app called UNUM, which is what I use to like schedule my, not schedule my Instagram photos, but to kind of play around with like the layout. So it lets you see what your Instagram feed looks like. So that way I can get a feel for like what photos I have coming up, what do I want to put next, like do two photos side by side look like too cluttered or whatnot. So I use that app a ton. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I really like that I have on this second page both a motivational quote, and then I have the Bible verse at the very top. I feel like it helps me like to set the tone for the day, and I really like it. And I can go changing that maybe like on a weekly basis, like find a new Bible verse that I like and then put put that in there in that little text box. A lot of people are gonna ask me about my background because I get asked about it like all the time. It's like one of the questions you guys ask me like the most. So this background of Jackson and Riley's face, I love it. It's like one of my favorite things, and this is through an app called Patternator. It looks like, let me see if I can find it. I know it's in my app library somewhere, which is cool because you can also like search for stuff. So yeah, so I actually had like, it's not on my phone anymore, like I had to download it. But anyway, it looks like this with the little colored pineapples, and it's super easy to use. You just upload any photo that you want. You just click on, okay, allow access. You can go into your camera roll, and then you can like find whatever photo you want to use. I'll select this photo of Jackson, and I'm gonna create a little sticker of it. I'll hit done, and then this could be my background. Like, it's just added a whole bunch of photos of him, or I think I can play around with like the different backgrounds. I can play around with a whole bunch of different kinds. I think you can also like select your color. Yeah, like this is moving around, so I don't want that. Just want like a standard thing. So you can play around with that app. You see, that's super cute, and then I can like save it to my phone and then use that as the background for my phone. So I really like that app, and you know, it's something that I use a lot. Other things that I use here that I don't have on my like home screen are this app. This one here is great for kids. It's called like virtual timer or timer. It looks like a little duck. Like, let's say I tell Riley that we're gonna go take a bath. She has 2 more minutes to play in the tub. What I'll do is I'll come into this timer and I can select how many minutes, and then I hit start, and then it starts showing like a picture. It starts like unveiling an image of something, and so once it's all done, it like beeps, and it's just a great way for kids to like visualize, see like how much time is left, you know, if you're being told that you've got like 1 minute left or whatnot. So this is an app that we use a lot, and I think it's great for kids. And yeah, I don't have like a ton of other things here that I use like a lot. I sent like my Netflix and like Disney Plus and stuff over to the app library because sometimes the kids will use it on my phone, but not like all the time. So the main stuff that I use is over here, and on the bottom down here to the right, I have the app Huckleberry, which is the tracker that I use like for Jackson's naps and stuff. I love this app so much. He's actually sleeping right now, so I can see how long his naps are. So far he's been sleeping for 30 minutes, and it like tracks everything. And I've only been using it for naps right now because like everything else, like I don't really track at this point now that he's like 9 months old. But I can see, like if I go back to my history, I can see like all the times, like blue is all the times that he was sleeping, red was all the times that I was feeding him. So this is a great way to like track your kids, you know, sleeping. And you can even go as far as like to track their like diapers and you know how many times you're pumping and all of that. So it's a great app. I highly recommend it. And then the 2 other apps that I do want to mention here, like I've got all my social media stuff that you guys already know about, but I have one that's called Daily Bible Verse. I love this app. I hit the top where it says Daily Verse, and every day it just changes the verse to read through that day. So I usually read this first thing in the morning. Really like that app. And then I have my Good Budget app, which I've shared with you guys before, which is how Joe and I track all of our money. So we have like our budget and our like little mini like savings accounts here. So every single time that Joe and I buy anything, we go and we track it here. So like in my spending envelope, yesterday I went to Target, and at Target I spent $165 on stuff for me. So I go in there and I track it, and then it pulls the money out of my little envelope so that I know that I'm not going over budget. So that's how we keep track of our finances, and I love that. So in a nutshell, that is what my phone looks like. So I hope that you guys enjoyed that little phone tour. Like, I've been super nosy and like wanting to know what everybody's phones look like, and people have made them look so nice and just like really aesthetically pleasing. And this was like a good first attempt for me, a good start. But at the same time, I didn't want to do something that was going to take me like 5 hours, because people have told me that they have spent like hours and hours doing the little shortcuts, the little icons for all the different apps. So I wasn't about to do that yet, but I think that it was good to like sit down, move the stuff to the app library that I didn't use, and then kind of organize my home screen to like the things that I use the most often. And I love the widgets that I did. So yeah, that's what I've done so far. Like, I would love to know if you guys have done any of this. Like, have you guys started to play around with your home screens? What do they look like? Like, what widgets have you added? Are there any other apps that do like good widget stuff? Like, I don't even know what the term would be, but like, are there other apps that I could use to create widgets for that are useful, that are helpful, that are entertaining? Let me know down below. I know that people are even like selling really cute icon packs and like background packs and stuff so that you can like style your phone without like it taking forever. So I'm gonna look through Etsy, and I'll leave a couple really cute ones down below in the description box if you just like want to buy something that looks really pretty, and then all you have to do is like save it to your phone and then, you know, set it up like that. But that's really it. That's all I wanted to share with you guys. I know that this was like a different kind of video for me, but I hope that that was at least a little insight into what I look at all day on my phone. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Make sure to give it a big thumbs up if you did, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.